Welcome back to All Caps. It is so good to be with you all again. Ladies, before we start, tell me what caught your eyes this week? You know what?
Yeah.
Because I saw something which is incredible, which I should not be surprised. The Palestinian Authority keeps paying terrorist money, and Israel keeps deducting this money from the tax payment that they are collecting for them. 600 million shekels are getting reduced from the tax money that Israel collects for the Palestinian Authority. And why is so surprising? Because if you recall, remember the judgment that I told you about the $655 million that we won against the Palestinian Authority, that now they will have to pay from the tax money just because they are supporting terrorists that are sitting in the Israeli jail? So Mahmoud Abbas came out with an announcement that he's no longer going to pay the pay-for-slave policy, and he's not going to pay the terrorists anymore. But we all knew he was lying.
Wow.
And here you see that Israel keeps taking this money away from them in order to punish them, in order to take it from the evil hands. And the Palestinian Authority keep doing the same thing. I heard Mahmoud Abbas saying that if there will be $1 left in the hands of the Palestinian Authority, it's going to go to the jihadists.
Wow. And so it doesn't matter how much we take.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's better that we take than that they have, because they will do more damage if they keep.
Of course. And with this judgment against the Palestinian Authority that are coming on and on and on, we're going to bankrupt the Palestinian Authority eventually.
We talked about a lot how we can do a really good advocate for Israel, the ways that we can advocate for Israel. And early in our shows, we talked about personal stories. And now I just saw a video on the Instagram about how the Arabs, the Israeli Arabs, are treated in Israel. Let's take a look for a second.
You've been to Israel?
Yeah, I've been to Israel 3 times, actually.
When you were there, what did you observe? Do you think that it's an apartheid? Do you think there's segregation like people claim?
No. When I went to Israel, I didn't want to meet Jews only. I wanted to meet Muslims and also Palestinians that I got to meet in Jerusalem. I met a lot of Israeli Arabs that told me they feel safe, they have their rights, and that's the country that they call home. Some of them actually feel privileged, and some of them actually say, like, I'm a proud Israeli.
We all know that people all over the world says that Arabs here in Israel, they don't have rights, that even me personally, when I go abroad, they tell me there's apartheid in Israel, you cannot really have equal rights. And I think this video, it's really important video for us. That there is a Muslim woman, Sophia is her name. She came to Israel to really check what's going on here. And she was surprised to realize that what they told her about Israel, about the conflict, it's just not true. And I think it's really a good way to explain this country, to advocate for this country, is to bring more Muslims. Yeah. Just come and see before you decide, before you say stuff on the media. We invited you to come and visit Israel and decide by yourself.
Absolutely. Because if you ask Arab Israeli where would he prefers to live, in the Palestinian Authority or in Israel, I don't have to tell you the answer. But if you ask an Arab Israeli if he prefers to live elsewhere, like in our Arab neighbors, Jordan, Egypt,
Lebanon.
Iraq, Lebanon, Syria, anywhere, you also
will choose this country. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I have to say, I admire her so much for her bravery to come here, because we can invite Muslims here to come and see, and we will welcome them. But the pressure they have from their communities, and the shame that they will be accused of being a Zionist and all of this. And it takes brave people like her to come here to really do the work and show other Arabs and other Muslims, look, I'm here. It's not what everyone says it is. And we need more people like her.
Yeah, we need to break this apartheid state slogan. Israel is not an apartheid state. Israel gives equal rights to the Arab people. We have judges, we have Knesset members, we have ministers from the Arab population here.
Doctors, like...
everything. There is no discrimination whatsoever. And it's good for people like this to spread the word.
Yeah.
I also have some more good news. Last week, there were 250 Indian Jews who finally made it home and made aliyah. Here's check out a video from that aliyah flight. They're so sweet and precious. But let me tell you a little bit about these guys. So they're Bnei Menashe, so they're descendants of the tribe of Manasseh. And they are living right now in northeast India. There's about 6,000 of them left there in India. There aren't a lot of Jews left in India, but this is part of a government-approved operation to bring all 6,000 remaining Bnei Menashe Jews from India to Israel by 2030. So this is a really exciting step. There's going to be another flight, I think, this week. Maybe I'll be able to make it. I'll keep you updated.
Wow. By the way, the first aliyah that Bnei Menashe did, they were in my school, by the way. I studied in boarding school in Haifa, and we didn't know. Like, we just saw them in the school, and we're like, what is this? Who they are? We didn't know if they were like Indian, Asian.
Because
and then,
if you look at their faces, they have very unique faces. They look actually
more like
Asian or Filipino.
Yeah.
And so it's very interesting because they're in a part of India where the features are a bit mixed, and so it's a very unique thing. And actually, they struggle a lot because people don't understand who they are and where they're from. But most of them, like you said, they're in the north. So they're going to be put in the north. They have a community, and they're going to, actually very interesting, they're going to have to go through an Orthodox Jewish conversion, not because they're not Jewish, it's because the Judaism they were practicing is actually before the time of Solomon. So they have to, now they have to go through this conversion to keep kind of today's version of Judaism, but they've been practicing a very ancient form of Judaism.
Their names are so special. They have names from the Bible, and they are such a beautiful. They are super religious, by the way.
Super religious.
They have like their head cover, and they are super talented. The one who was with me in the school, in my class, they are really, really amazing, and I'm happy they come here.
And they're good men. And we welcome here.
They go to the army, by the way.
78th birthday deserve to bring them home, and they deserve to make aliyah.
Yeah, I hope all of the Jews that want to come to Israel will come here.
Amen.
Now it's time to address a dark reality spreading across the map. From the streets of London and Belgium to the unexpected corners of Kyrgyzstan. Antisemitism is raising its head with a new intensity. How did we get here? And why is the world suddenly so quiet? Let's get into it. Take a look at what we have found on the internet. These videos are spreading all over, and the acts of anti-Semitism is so brutal, it's so vocal, it's so unblended that it really becomes scary. And it increased since October 7th. We used to say October 7th is suddenly showing how brutal Israel's enemies are, but Israel's enemies just found a way to bash Israel vocally, unapologetically, to the extent that Jews are scared to live in other countries. We see guards guarding synagogues and schools and walking with armed to protect the Jews there.
In Sydney, in Australia, it was a shooter that came to and killed a lot of Jews. Yes,
during Hanukkah.
Yes, during Hanukkah. And I think it's legit to criticize a country, but what's more dangerous is it's become very cool, kind of, if you hate a Jew, and the whole Jew all over the world, you're fighting against something like good. This is the way they sell it for them, you know? And for me, I just want to ask you, you think there is any legal way to fight the government in these countries?
You can't file a lawsuit against the government because they have sovereign immunity.
Okay.
But you can sue just the individuals. The problem is that not always you can find the individuals, especially with our masks. And they are very cowards. I mean, they spray, kill the Jews and run away. They don't show their picture near the wall to go and get arrested afterwards. Although we see sometimes videos of people harassing Jews with their face uncovered, showing what they're doing. And these are cases that can people be arrested
And there's so many amazing people that are actually hunting these people down line and sending these videos to their workplaces and getting these people released from their jobs. These people shouldn't be in medicine. We saw those nurses in Australia that were joking about that they would
kill
a patient. They should not be in healthcare.
You want to see an example? Take a look.
Excuse me, madam. Excuse me. Yeah? I was wondering if I could get your phone number.
No.
Does this change your tooth? Oh, shit. Am I that chop? Here, boy. You good? I'm here, boy. You good?
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's this new trend. People go to Haredi neighborhoods to go and harass them. And, they're very private people. Even if you go to them to ask them, what the time is, they're very it's a closed community. So they find these people, they're easy targets, and they bully them. This is what bullies do. Conveniently, they're Jewish, so it's easy to bully Jews here.
But let's say it's really bring me back.
The money issue, right?
Yeah.
Like Jews. I tempt you with money. You want to go? You're going to give me your phone number?
Yeah. Like the
Jew wants fortune. This is the old anti-Semitic symbol. And
it's like bring me back to the days before, like how it started the Holocaust. With these propaganda cartoons that the Jews are controlling the world. They had like a sign, there is no intro for the Jews and the animals. And we saw this now, kind of signs like this on the hotels. And it's just bring me back to the days before the Holocaust. And this is how this starts. And I think it's really, a message for the Jews all over the world to see. And I said, and it's really hard to say this, but this is your time to see if you can stay in that countries. Maybe you are not that safe there anymore, but you will always be safe here in Israel, and you're always welcome to be here. And there is no, as I said before, there is no other place that as a Jew I rather to be than Israel. And the reason there will not be another Holocaust is because we have this country, we have the IDF, and when we have this Israel, and we are strong, and this is not the way it was before. But it's really make me like uncomfortable to see this and feel bad.
Yeah, I mean, you can see, we just saw this picture of a sign that says no animals and no Jews.
No Jews, yeah.
And, I just got back from Poland, so to have learned everything that's happened during the Holocaust and before the Holocaust. Years ago, people would say, how could that happen? Like, we're so civilized now.
Exactly.
But we're not.
Exactly.
We're not. It's happening again. And even when I was going to Poland, so many of these things that we saw in the video, I actually saw with my own eyes, like the guards, when we got to the airport, because I was with a big delegation of Jews, there were these big army guys with big guns. And I was like, wow, they really secure their airport. But then I learned they're here because of us.
Yeah.
And specifically at the Israel Air, which is one of Israel's airlines, check-in, there were guards all around it. And not just guards, army, Polish military. So I want to thank the Polish military in Poland for taking it seriously.
You're talking about Poland. I saw it in New Jersey, in Newark Airport. Wow. I saw an armed vehicle, like the huge one that you use like in battlefields.
Wow.
At the airport where El Al was standing. That was really scary. And people, and they had like soldiers completely armed from top to bottom. It's unbelievable, and this is in New York.
Also, I saw when I was in Poland, I was actually walking through Kazimierz, which is a historically Jewish neighborhood in the city of Krakow. There was many Jews who lived there before the Holocaust. There's not many there today, but I saw someone wrote on the wall with a Sharpie, Israel puts oxycodone in flour.
Wow.
I was shocked. I was like, what is this? And it's just like, people are coming up with stuff. They're writing in this graffiti. It's everywhere. And I'm just, my stomach, it feels like a punch to it when you see these lies.
And it's only against the Jews.
Yeah.
Like if you criticize the government of China for what they're doing to their Falun Gong or anything like that, you will not harass a Chinese person in the street that you see. You will not spray on it. You will not dirty it. You will not come and beat him up. Only with Israel and the Jews.
And anti-Semites, they like to use the word Israel and Jew as synonymous. It's the same word to them. They will say Israelis, Jews. It's the same thing to them.
Yeah.
So that's why there are these Republicans or conservatives in America. They say, oh, well, I'm not anti-Semitic if I criticize Israel.
Yeah.
No, but today, when people say Israel, they mean Jews a lot of the time. Actually, I have a friend, when I was on this delegation, she shared with me, she's from the UK, that she was on the subway and a Hebrew message popped up on her phone from a friend, and a man looked over, looked at her phone, and began to verbally attack her on the subway.
Wow.
Your people kill my people.
Oh my God.
And nobody did anything. She was terrified. And this is what they're dealing with. And now I'm hearing so many people from the West want to make aliyah, because I always said, it's going to take something big to happen for Jews from the United States and Europe to make aliyah, because for us, it's very hard coming to Israel. Sometimes we have to make less money when we're here at the beginning. There's a lot of sacrifices we have to make because we speak English. We have to start all over. It's much easier to stay and speak our language. But, for example, there's Jews coming from Ukraine and Russia, and obviously it's amazing that they're coming, but they're coming from a difficult situation to something better. They're going to make more money. They're going to be home. But with American Jews, we have a good life there. European Jews, we have a good life. And now I realize I'm getting a head start to just being here now. I wonder, why am I here right now? Things are crazy. I'm like, I'm just getting a head start because we are all going to have to make aliyah.
And it goes both directions because of Israelis going elsewhere, go out of the country. They are being targeted.
Yes.
Especially in places like Greece, which is a very popular touristic area for Israelis. Everybody goes to Greece, everybody goes to Cyprus. And you just face brutal anti-Semitism, anti-Israelis, anti-Zionism, and this threatens their life. Because words, if you put them on a big wall, can really incite to take actions. And you see time after time that soldiers or youth or an Israeli getting attacked.
I flew a lot to Greece with my family, and it was like a warning not to go there. And we go there, we see these signs also, but in the streets, we speak Hebrew, and everything was okay. My question is that sometimes when it's a places like Britain, that's 7% of the population that is Islam, and there is a lot of hate there against the country, against Jews. Sometimes we see the whole picture clear, or we just see some of people that's trying to write these things. And like what I'm trying to say is like everybody are hating Jews, or we just, I don't know, we just like some population in this country, some people in this country.
They're louder than others.
Yes, this is my question. Like,
No,
are we gonna
everybody.
not allowed to walk in the streets or travel?
And that's what gives me hope. I try to remind myself,
Right.
be optimistic. I hear from Holocaust survivors all the time. They say, you have to have hope. Even when it looks bad, they always say, hope is everything. So I try to look at through this lens. Like we were talking about traveling as Jews, I think, is there a day that we won't be able to travel anymore? That the only place we can be is in these four borders of Israel?
This is a real question,
I don't think everybody hates Jews.
No, absolutely not.
But those who do are growing and growing, being more vocal and vocal, and turning to a physical threat
It's
against the Jews.
something
I think.
spiritual about it. Like when you see these
It's a
anti-Semites
movement.
in their eyes and when they're going
Yeah.
on the streets, there's something crazed in them.
And the fault is on the governments themselves. They don't stop it.
I think
Just show it. London is okay with it. Mamdani is also okay with it. People just that are controlling allow it to happen.
I think like in Britain there is like 7 mayors that they are Muslims.
Yeah.
Like they control the government literally, and there is a part of the social media that play here a huge part because. You know, then we talked about like propaganda posts and signs here and there. And now you have all this video. We have like people like Tucker Carlson and like Owens and a lot of people who spread hate against the Jews. And it's go like in the minute, they have like millions of followers that view this. And there is also a huge part of the social media that we need to hang on and like to look at it, how we can address this.
Well, I think the good point is going back to the money thing. A lot of these online campaigns are sponsored by states, by governments. A lot of these anti-Israel, anti-Semitic campaigns. I'm learning more and more that a lot of the comments I see on my videos, on our videos, they're bots. They're not even real people. They're fake. They're literal mass bot accounts and farms where they're generating this stuff, and they're reaching a lot of people. And that's the thing. If we can cut off the funding, we can cut these campaigns.
Let's end with this because we have to move on to our special guest. While the world seems to be turning its back, there are voices in the U.S. that are louder and more committed than ever. Our next guest is a journalist and a fierce defender of Israel who isn't afraid to stand up for the truth of her Zionism. Please welcome Emily Austin. Emily, welcome to the show. It's so great to have you here.
Thanks for having me. It's my pleasure.
You are close to President Trump. When was the last time you met and what did you discuss?
I saw him at the UFC fight in Miami probably like a week or two ago. And I was talking to his children and we were just like enjoying the UFC fight. And then it's not a secret anymore, but Marco Rubio leaned into his ear and said, "Mr. President, there's no deal." Because we had Steve Witkoff, Jared, and JD Vance in Pakistan trying to negotiate a deal with Iran. And I remember the rest of the night, he wasn't happy. So he was very like, let's more.
Why do you think Trump likes you so much?
Honestly speaking, I remember when the Trump campaign reached out to me. It was before he became president. It was while he was running. In the US, I'm a sports broadcaster. Actually, internationally, I'm a sports broadcaster. But when Trump was running the second time, women were not his demographic. All the women were voting for Biden or Kamala, and it was very rare to see, especially a woman in sports, speaking out pro-Trump. So when I did that, I think, first of all, I obviously took a lot of heat for that. I lost a lot of work. I lost a lot of jobs. So the Trump campaign really appreciated it. And they asked me if I could join Women for Trump. And then shortly after, I joined Jews for Trump. So I joined all his coalitions. And then after Trump won the presidency, he and JD Vance, they invited me to the White House as like a thank you for helping us win this election. And that's the picture.
Despite your very young age, you're celebrating your 25th birthday next month, you represent us all over the world. Do you feel like this is your mission?
I definitely do feel like it's my mission. It's not something I knew, I guess, growing up because I was so focused on sports and only sports. It's not something I ever cared for because it's a very ugly industry. It's very political, that's why it's called politics. There's always combinot and games and things that like I don't have patience for. So I realized shortly after October 7th, or I should say on October 7th, that I don't really know because I was vocal before October 7th. I was very, very proudly Jewish. I was openly Jewish. I was very openly pro-Israel. And don't get me wrong, there was a lot of anti-Israel hate before October 7th. I remember, I think it was Tzuk Eitan, if I'm not mistaken, that all of the Black Lives Matter crowd became the anti-Israel crowd. And I remember I was fighting with NBA players like, Israel's not this apartheid country and Israel's not a racist country. And I was always doing hasbara. I hate that word. but that's the only way to describe it. And then after October 7th, I just felt like America would feel bad for Israel and Americans would sympathize with, people being murdered and kidnapped. And to my very, very surprise, everybody took Gaza's side. And I'm like, we were just slaughtered. And somehow we are still the bad guys. So from that day moving forward, I realized like, A, America has a big anti-Semitism problem, and B, I'm one of the people that could do something about it. So I take it as like a badge of honor, even though it's very hard and destructive personally. I choose to make this my life mission.
You have millions of followers on social media, but despite that, what's something that people don't know about you yet?
Oh, that's a good question. What's something people don't know about me? Well, I was gonna give a big secret, but I'm not. Something people don't know about me. Honestly speaking, I know this sounds very sad because online I'm always like fighting and debating and explaining and hasbara. Like I'm actually just very, very fun. Like I want to, you know, travel as much as everyone else does, hang out. I want to get married. I'm dying to have children. Like these are all things that are really fundamentally important to me. But because my online personality is always like Trump, politics, boxing, UFC, it's like you don't really get to know me. And I love my dog. I live with my family. I still live at home. Like I love being with my family. It's definitely not what you see online.
You know, you've been doing Israel advocacy for quite a few years now, and you know this arena well. What is it that people don't understand about Israel?
Well, where do I begin? Let me start taking notes. They they as in non-Israelis just have this perception that Israel is racist and Israel's committing genocide. And like when they think of Israel, they think of a state that's like Jewish supremacy. Like they don't know, you don't know how many people I speak to that have no clue that Christians live in Israel, Muslims live in Israel, how Palestinians have a better life in Israel. They think it's like for Jews and nobody else is allowed. And that's the biggest misconception that I see. And it's the easiest one to just debunk because I could show them the churches and the mosques and Al-Aqsa and, where Jesus' tomb is and how they protect it. And just everything that everyone believes about Israel is only lies. Like the entire pro-Palestine movement is built on lies. And the entire pro-Israel movement is history and artifacts and the truth. So it's really easy to defend. It's just a question of how many people can I speak to?
It's so important that you're doing advocate for Israel in these days. We just want to say thank you to you for doing that as an Israeli. I also heard that you don't work on Shabbat. Is that true?
I try not to. So even in I work in Saudi Arabia, it was Yom Kippur. I remember I fasted all day. I didn't work. I was like reading Tehillim and I was like not working. And then Shabbat, sometimes the most of the fights are Motzei Shabbat, so it's good. But my fun fact is I never miss Kiddush. Like I'm always home with my family. And I'll even take like a 6 a.m. flight Saturday just so I could be at home to do Kiddush sometimes.
Well, I can agree with you because keeping the Shabbos is so important. But I want to tell you that a lot of people come to me and say, I wish I would have been Shabbat observer because I can put down the phone, not check my emails, not check my WhatsApp, not work, take like a whole day of work off. And it's so crucial just to revive yourself, just to refresh yourself.
Absolutely. And even now Christians are starting to take this and, take their Shabbat as well. They're taking inspiration from Jews and saying, wow, Charlie Kirk wrote a book about how he actually is keeping the Shabbat. Yeah. So it's an amazing thing, Emily.
Yeah.
Emily, as someone very involved in the conservative American world, how do you fight the growing anti-Semitism among those who call themselves Republicans?
Well, I've personally taken a different approach. I used to do I guess hasbara is the right word. But then I realized I've been doing everything wrong this entire time. I think maybe during the milchama, it was very important to be vocal. But now that things are starting to settle a bit, I realized the best way to combat anti-Semitism is just to keep on living, to thrive, and to be successful. I really believe the best people doing Hasbara for the Jewish people are Gal Gadot and Deni Avdia. Hands down. And Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler has never said a word about being Jewish. He is still the best person doing Hasbara more than all of these influencers combined, because the best way to combat Jew hatred is just by being successful. So that's why I take it upon myself, like, I'm not going to explain to you why Israel has a right to exist. I'm not going to explain to you why you shouldn't hate Jews, because you know what my opinion is? Even if you hate us, too bad. We're not going anywhere. So you don't have to love us, but understand that we are here to stay. And that's how I've been approaching anti-Semitism, and it's been way easier.
Emily, we live in the time that Jewish are hiding their identity, but you do the opposite. You walk around with the Star of David on your neck. Did you get reaction for that?
Yeah, I'm never going to forget. I was working on television one day, and I wore my Magen David, and I think it was my first day at work. And anyway, a producer came to me and said, please take off your Star of David. This boxer is Muslim. And I remember I said, the way he's proudly Muslim, I'm proudly Jewish. So I don't have a problem with him being a Muslim. So if he has a problem with me being Jewish, you should talk to him, not me. And the producer kind of backed off for a bit.
It's unbelievable, Emily.
How he get offended by her identity, like by her necklace. Like, I don't get offended if you see it in front of me with the Quran or with the hijab.
Is it because he's associating Judaism with Israel and he has a problem with Israel, so therefore he has a problem with Jews? Like, what is this?
Wow.
It made him angry. It made him angry that she is a proud Zionist. She wears the Star of David on her neck, and he couldn't tolerate it. Mm-hmm. These are the Israel's enemies, so coward, so anti-Semitic.
And this directly contradicts all the people that say, I don't have a problem with Jews, I have a problem with Israel.
Right.
I would say that I like wearing the Magen David, but I also, and this sounds so bad, but I beg people, if you're going to wear the Magen David, which I want you to, please be a good representation of us. Because you don't know how many people are wearing Magen David or wearing kippot or wearing tzitzit, and they go out there and it's like the absolute worst representation of Judaism I've ever seen, because they're doing really bad things or they're treating people very poorly. So it's like sometimes I wish less people would wear it because they're not doing a good job representing us. But on the other hand, I want us to wear it and I want us to be proud, but I also want us to be a positive depiction of what being Jewish is. So when I wear the Magen David, like in my mind, it's a reminder to be a good person. So now I don't wear the necklace, I wear it on my finger, but I just took a shower, so I took it off. It's like a big diamond Magen David on my finger. I'll send you a picture, you can edit it in. But I just like wearing it because I believe that I always act in best faith. And then separately, like I am in an industry where I'm one of the only Jewish people. So when people ask me like, oh, you're Jewish? For me, it's a really nice opportunity to be able to talk about the beautiful things.
So Emily, the big question, when is your next visit to Israel?
I have a few things first. So I'm flying to Nigeria today. I'm going to Egypt May 23rd, which sucks because my birthday is May 24th. So I'll be flying back. And then Bezrat Hashem, I'm going to be in Tel Aviv and Yerushalayim mid-June.
Wow, that's very soon. Well, that means you're going to see the landscapes, the food, and the people. Of all of those things, what do you love the most about our country?
Oh, the food. Oh my God, 100% the food. Don't get me wrong, I love the people too. They're very like chazak, and I respect that. But just so you know, when I come to Israel, I ask people in America if like they have extra Ozempic because I gained so much weight because the food is so good.
Okay, I have to ask, what is your favorite Israeli food?
It's like, okay, so first of all, I'm kosher. And in America, we don't have kosher McDonald's. So when I go to Israel, as a bushot, when I go to Israel, I eat for dinner almost every night, like chicken nuggets from McDonald's, but I don't only eat the chicken nuggets. Like I'll have something really good, like a nice steak from a good restaurant and chicken nuggets. So I get very fat in Israel.
I was like expecting to hear falafel or hummus.
Right.
Yeah, we understand you. You eat kosher, yeah.
Well,
Thank you so
we
much.
can assure you, we have good McDonald's here, and it's kosher. Emily, thank you so much for joining us. It really was a pleasure. We wish you all the best, and your success will be our success.
Thank you so much.
Unfortunately, not everyone in Hollywood shares that pride like Emily Austin. In our anti-Semitism and fake news segment, we are looking at Seth Rogen, who is once again using his platform to attack the Jewish state. Take a look.
I also think that as a Jewish person, like, I was fed a huge amount of lies about Israel my entire life. You know, they forget to include the fact to every young Jewish person, basically, like, oh, by the way, there were people there. I'm afraid of Jews. I'm 100% afraid of Jews. That's it. It would be nice to live somewhere that was not a part of the Christian apocalyptic prophecy, which is also probably a good idea. It's like, maybe settle somewhere that, you know, the Christians don't think you all have to die in order for the
Could you imagine living in Israel? Would you ever go live in Israel?
No, it would be.
I'm the same way, and we're going to piss off a bunch of Jews. It's like, you know, for some reason, my mother, who's not religious or whatever, but her generation, they're kind of hung up on Israel, and they find some comfort in it. And I've been there, and I'm like, I couldn't imagine living here. I just want to make sure that you are frightened of your own survival to the point where when you get old enough, you will make sure that that money goes to Israel and that trees are planted and that you always speak highly of Israel, and Israel must survive no matter what.
Wow. Seth Rogen, you know nothing about Israel, nothing about Judaism. You're just a Jew by mistake. Just because your mother is Jewish, you are Jewish, but you have nothing to do with Judaism. You don't know the bare thing. You have never been in Israel, have never studied anything that has to do with Judaism, has not practiced any type of Judaism, don't know a Jew from a distance. What are you talking about? The first time that you learned that there were people here in Israel? You're such an ignorant. What did you think? Of course there were Arabs there, here in Israel, but who were before?
Yeah.
There were Jewish people before. All your forefathers, you don't know anything, so you don't know. But we've been here for generations, and Israel is not stable, like United States is, like the Middle East is. Israel is not stable. That's the problem with self-hating Jews. We see them all the time, and the only reason his video went viral is because he's a Hollywood comedian.
But on top of that, these people think that they're safe from the Free Palestine crowd. These Jews that think that, oh, well, you know, I'm against Israel, so I'm the cool one. This crowd will turn against you too. Terrorists don't ask a synagogue if this synagogue supports Israel or not before they burn it down. They don't. And I'm meeting more and more of these people, Jews that are shouting Free Palestine at other Jews, which now Free Palestine has become an anti-Semitic slur at Jews, okay? Because they're not shouting, they're shouting Palestine will be free from the river to the sea. Jews have nowhere to be. This is what it's come to. And when Jews shout Free Palestine at other Jews, it's an anti-Semitic slur. They're self-hating Jews.
I think to say that you've been lying to and not knowing your history, it just say, sorry, how stupid you are. You can now argue with that, but the fact that you say, I'm afraid of Jew, you're afraid of really yourself.
Yeah.
And so if you are so to why you always play in your movies as a Jew character, why?
Yeah, he's always, like, he has this whole movie about Hanukkah.
Yes, he like proud Jew, and you play all of the parts that he playing, most of them are as a Jew actor, a Jew person. So if you are so afraid, why you use this in your movies? Mm-hmm. And it's just annoying just to hear him laughing and talking like he understands something, but he doesn't.
Yeah, and he says, I'm going to...
double standard.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
And he says he's going to piss a bunch of Jews off. I'm not even pissed. I'm just deeply disappointed, and I'm grieved to see this.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? It makes me angry because people use it against us. People come to say, your own people said that Jews are not okay, that Israel is not okay, that Israel took over the land from other indigents of the country, of the land. It's our people, and this is the most dangerous lie you can spread, coming from whoever is trustworthy in their eyes.
Yeah. But he think he's cool, and he think they will like him because of it, you know?
Yeah.
But they don't. The fact that you are Jew, this is the reason that they hate you.
Yeah.
And you cannot change it. You are a Jew. You can be maybe, I don't know, a Christian, but like, first of all, for all of them, you are a Jew. This is who you are.
If he were in the times of the Nazis, they wouldn't care if he waved a Nazi flag. They'll be like, you're a Jew. Get out of here. Look, I've heard from many people, sometimes we are our own worst enemy. When my husband and I, we went to speak in Norway, my husband does Hasbara, speaking about Israel. And one day we get a call, and the police they requested to get an arrest warrant on my husband for alleged war crimes.
Wow.
And guess who put in the reports, the request to the police? It was, obviously there was pro-Palestinian groups, but they were anti-Israel Jews who put in the request to the police. I'm serious.
Oh my
Thankfully,
God.
the warrant wasn't granted, but it was Jews who requested it.
Jewish Voice for Peace, melded by Jews. Professors in universities are prominent Jews. It's all about the Jews.
But it's teach me something, okay? When I am a mother, okay? Soon you will be maybe, but you are too. But how important is it to educate your kids, to let them to know their roots, to teach them about the Judaism, about who they are, and to be proud of it. You know, as a mother, it's really a huge sign for me because we live in Israel and all of us are Jew here. We don't need to practice of being Jew, you know? It's here. But it's really important for me, every holiday that I have, I celebrate, I do all the songs and everything, that if my son he will decide when he will be 18 to go abroad, he knows that he is Jewish and he's going to celebrate all the holidays and he's going to be a proud Jew, you know? And this is a message for all over the world, mom Jews that don't live here.
Yeah.
Educate your kids so you will not have a son like Seth Rogen.
But my question is, he even said, I was raised to learn about Israel, and now he suddenly believes that they're all lies. How does this happen, and how do we prevent it from happening? Because clearly he had a Jewish education growing up. He learned about Israel, but now he's like, oh, I was just fed a bunch of lies.
I don't think he really learned about it. Because if he learned about it, as Nitzana says, he will not say, they never told me it was people there before. You know that we were here before.
That's really silly to come and say this is the first time that they taught me this truth. Open a book, or even better, watch a TV. The Palestinians have been saying it all along. We've been here first. So learn some history, don't be ignorant, and then you can open your mouth and say your words. Ladies, I want to cheer you up because we're ending today on a note of absolute strength. Hostage survivor Rom Braslavski recently sat down with Fox News, and his courage has become a viral symbol of Israeli pride. He reminded the world what we are made of. Take a look.
Rom Braslavski, I was kidnapped. They murdered my soul, all my body still hurting, and I'm yet said I'm a Jewish, I'm a proud Jewish. I will never be a proud Jewish. And I love Israel. I love our Bible. We need to be strong. We need to be together. No one will let our head down. We will stay proud who we are, and I will be raise my flag in everywhere. This is my flag. This is my culture.
Ooh.
Wow,
Seth Rogen need to learn something from Rom.
I mean, that takes so much bravery. I mean, to get up on one of the biggest news platforms in the world, for anyone, it's scary. But after everything, all the trauma he went through, and even English not being his native language, he gets up there, he does it, and he made us all so proud.
Wow, he gave me chills. So strong.
Wow.
And raising the Israeli flag. I mean, this is what we are. This is, I can't call to everyone to make aliyah, but in the end, even after October 7, even after those 2.5 devastating war that we've been going through. Israel is strong. People in Israel are happy, are resilient, and we call everyone to come to this beautiful country, the only Jewish state in the world.
Woo.
And ladies, thank you very much for one more beautiful show. And to our viewers, thank you for joining us. Stay safe, stay sharp, and we'll see you next time on All Caps.
Woo.